This is my compost tumbler that I just finished building. I got some ideas off of YouTube and I incorporated some of my own. I designed it like a wheelbarrow to make the ease of moving it around your property a lot easier. These handles in front, I can take those off. They're screwed in to a larger diameter pipe and they're galvanized so they won't rust, and they're attached on the bottom with super strut. I also used a trailer jack in front to change the angle of the cylinder or the machine, which will dictate how quickly the compost will be going through the cylinder. You can also see here that I used just a regular extension cord for the electrical, which goes to the motor. I just cut off one end and then I wired it up to a switch, and this is just an outdoor switch which keeps the elements, rain, dirt and stuff off the electrical switch to keep the connections from corroding up. And then all the wires are piped into the motor. The motor is just a 1 horsepower motor, and it has a 2-inch pulley on it, and that pulley, the belt wraps around that and goes to a 10-inch pulley. And then on that, well, it's a mandrel that both of those pulleys are connected to, and the smaller pulley is a 2-inch pulley, and then that belt goes around the cylinder of the drum. Now the drum is just made out of, these are aluminum bicycle rims, and this is just ground, I think they call it ground cloth or some type of wire, and this wire is a 1/4 inch. It's attached by zip ties. What I had to do, because this rim came and only had one hole for the spoke, so I had to match up that hole with the nether hole, so I drilled it out in order to get the zip ties to work, and it seems to work out pretty well. I also got this 1/2-inch stainless tubing. It's pretty rigid, it's hard to bend, and I use that to strengthen up the cylinder. And I have 3 of them, one here, one there, and there's one up there. I got 4 casters, one on every corner, and the casters are just held in place by bolts and nuts. I got lock washers in there and flat washers. You can adjust it in or out just by adjusting these 2 nuts. These casters aren't anything fancy, they're not ball bearings, but if I had to change them out I probably could. I think I can just order the wheel from a catalog and replace them. There's also a wheel here. This is just to keep the cylinder in place in case it wants to move out of alignment. Again, it's put in with the nuts and bolts, and it's all adjustable. I did order these wheels. I bought them because they're tubeless and they'll never go flat. I did order them with the 1/2-inch axle. I should have got the 3/4 inch axle because it would have been a lot stronger. This machine kind of weighs a lot because of all the siding, the metal corrugated siding in the roof. It's just a lot of extra wood, so I had a problem with the axle bending right here. And the wheels are kind of splaying out like that. So in order to fix that, I bought this square tubing, slid it over the axle, and that helped a little bit, but it didn't do a good enough job. So then I got this metal wire in the turnbuckle, and then kind of wrapped the wire around the frame here, and I was able to pull this axle up, and that straightened out the axle, so now it's okay. As you can see here, this is these are the wheelbarrow handles. This is the larger diameter pipe. I welded on the This is just like a coupling with threads on the inside, and this is the smaller diameter coupling to that smaller pipe, and I welded that on. And you just thread in that smaller pipe, and all this is connected to a super strut, which is adjustable. You can move these handles in or out. This bottom section here that I made, it kind of has three sections. There's this section here, that's one section that I built, and then this is another section here, and then this is another section there, the roof. Also, in this design, some of the videos I saw on YouTube, there was a board going from there to here, which I thought would have been in the way of getting the compost out of, or the sifted compost out of this area. So I took out that board, and I just made the legs of the tumbler. I strengthened that up just by adding this diagonal piece here, which then goes up to basically the top of the tumbler of that frame. And the whole machine is pretty solid, and you can see the roof. It's just corrugated metal roof. That'll help to keep the elements off of the motor and the belts and stuff, but still you should probably protect it with a tarp or something, just so that the wood will last a lot longer. This is just Douglas fir wood. I did get some pressure treated wood for the bottom because it's making ground contact, but still it's gonna have to be protected. So all in all, this machine should work out pretty well. I'll show you how easy it is to move it around. Let's put the phone down. So that's my tumbler.